No bad language, you're on straight away. Sorry for delaying you, Rhys. That is a beautiful Christmas jumper, is it?
Beautiful.
You like it? It's, I've tried to make it not too OTT Christmas, so it's kind of discreetly Christmas.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you'll know him by now. If you don't, cop on. It's Rhys McKee. Rhys, we literally just hung up from Robin Black, and we finished by speaking to him about mentioning your name. We told, there's a guy over here, we told him the detail, and he said he's heard of your name, but he's going to look up all your fights. He says, which fight? And we all
just watch them.
Check out. I said he wasn't a professional 15 months ago. I said he's now 5-0 and a Lonsdale BAMMA champion. So
he also said that he's going to do a mini breakdown. Hopefully
he's going to grab your fights, and he's going to do a Robin Black mini breakdown for the next time he comes on.
Oh, you can't beat that, sure you can.
That's pretty cool. So here we are. We are 1 week. It is Friday, yeah. We're 1 week out from being crowned. We did have an interview that we'll always hold together ourselves. The secret interview in the bunker. So unfortunately, issues happened. A week out from it. We're going to not repeat the same interview. What a year it's been for Rhys McKee. But when you were standing just getting ready in there, Rhys, just tell us everything that was going through the mind. We did speak on this a little bit, but like I said, people didn't hear it, so we might repeat a few. But just as you're standing on the cusp waiting, you hear Jai's music playing and you're waiting to go out. Tell us what's going through your head at that time.
Just at that stage, everything's been done. You're running over the last few bits of did I do enough, and have I done all I could, and at that stage you kind of realise, it doesn't matter, and regardless you're going to fight now anyway. So you see Jai walking out, you hear the crowd a bit of booing for him, and then it was my time to walk, and once I got on that stage I knew I was leaving with that title regardless of whatever Jai done. It was my night, and my night to shine.
Now, I know a lot of people as well have spoke about the distance in the fight, that they thought you were staying on the outside, and they've said that you're possibly losing the fight up until the finish. But you've commented saying you were quite comfortable. You like fighting on the outside.
Yeah, for a long guy, I don't need to be in the centre of the cage. I can fight inside. I'm very good in the pocket. I'm very good with my back foot on the cage. So that's something you don't see in a lot of good strikers. So it puts me ahead of a lot of strikers, and I can box absolutely anywhere, so I cause a lot of problems for anyone.
It was obviously a quick fight, but in there with Jai, he's been touted as one of the better strikers in the division, and one of the younger, better fighters there. How did it feel in there? Do you think that he's one of the best strikers in there, or did you not get enough time in there with him? Or
yeah, he is. He's very good with the feet, very good dexterity in his hips. For when the kicks up, I don't really see them coming. But a lot of people saying Jai was winning the fight. I mean, he hit a lot of my arms, and he landed a couple of kicks, but nothing landed clean. There was no clean shots. So to say he was winning, probably a bit of a misuse of words. I feel no one was really winning until the finish, when I put him away.
And then it happens. You connect. You land the first shot after Rodney let a roar at you. It was after a groin strike. You restarted, and you heard Rodney calling out to let the hands go. You duly done as requested from your coach. You landed the shot. What was that when it landed? Just tell us. Talk us through that moment, the combination. I'm sure you've watched it back, so it might refresh it in your mind. So talk us through that moment, that combination.
Well, I must have a wee button connected to the back of my back, because anytime Rodney shouts something, I just seem to do it. So it was good. I remember thinking, go try and get in here. I dipped my head down. I remember staying down low and then coming up I think it was a 4-punch combo, and then it was actually the left hand that clipped him while I was walking forward. I didn't really feel the shot, to be honest. They say, once you land that money shot, you don't really feel it. And that's true, I just remember seeing him going down, and, it basically goes from 10 mile an hour to 100. Just hunting for that finish, and I felt big Leon Roberts.
Yeah, you mentioned in the last interview.
My back, so.
You mentioned in the last interview last week that you had a couple of niggly injuries coming out of it. How are you feeling now? Is there any damage done where you need to take some time off, or what's the crack?
No, I'm good. My foot was like a balloon there, but finally the swelling's coming down. That's not as black. So, I think we're doing a training session next Wednesday. We're back to it. So, now I'm good to go. I've also had a think about Belfast, and the defence is going to be in Belfast. it's I'm really looking forward to Belfast. I had a few days to think about it, and you think I was hungry to win the title. Wait till you see me defend it. Nobody's getting it.
That was something that we spoke about in the famous last interview. Was that you felt that maybe Belfast was too soon because of the injuries, but now the few days have passed. The injuries are looking like they're not what you thought they were, maybe, and Belfast is happening, is it?
Yeah, Belfast will be happening. There's no opponent. There's none of that yet. The injuries are nothing. They're non-existent at this stage. I have a lot of good plans. Next year. I'm hoping to get some part-time work and go full-time MMA, and the defence will happen in Belfast, all being well, and it's going to be a great year.
Yeah. Is there any truth actually in a rumour? I heard a rumour that when Norman pulled out injury with an injury against Decky Dalton, that your name was thrown in the hat. Is there any truth in that?
I had the fight accepted. I was good to go. Then unfortunately the tragedy that happened in the family, it didn't go ahead, and Peter Quillies took the fight. But yeah, I was. I accepted that fight. I asked for that fight, so I was ready to step in, Do
you think that would be a fight that you'd be interested in getting again?
No, not no more. I think he's on a two fight losing streak, No offense to Decky, but I want guys on winning streaks, and I'd like to fight a UFC vet this year as well. I've got big things in my plan, so I'm coming for the top dogs.
The first time you were on the show with us, you mentioned about working and young fighters should have something to fall back on. They shouldn't just, go full-time straight away. Do you think it's, as you said, it's your time to go full-time and maybe get a part-time job just to, put full commitment into this?
I think so. My sponsors are amazing, I'm not saying I'm not sitting here minted with a scary bank account or anything, but I don't mind having that little bit of struggle to train full time. That's what I want to do. It's the first time in my life I felt I've had a passion, and I think I'd be kicking myself if I never had a real good go at it. I think now is the time. A lot of people are telling me it's the time, so I'm hungrier than ever to go full time.
And there's a help as well, like with obviously Alan fought Duke Umar, and I know Alan was away in Liverpool as well, but looking like having Norman Park in your gym, who obviously got to the highest level, and I'm sure is looking to climb back there. Norman only turned 30, so he's still plenty of time to get back. Headlining as well, the Belfast card against is Paul Redmond. Is the camp again? Is that something that maybe what Alan Philpott's doing, going and travelling and doing a little bit of training somewhere else just to pick up outside information, or are you happy with everything that's being shown in Next Gen, if you know what I mean? Not that it's not being shown right, but just to experience a different voice and a different look.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool at home, but I'm definitely trying to go to Liverpool for a few weeks with Alan. After this fight, I would also like to try and do a fight camp out in America. No, I'm definitely open to both options, but I'm happy at home. I think we've got all the training we need, and as Rodney always says, it's sometimes it's what you do on the mats and not who all's on them, etc. So, no, I'm cool with both. I'm definitely on for going away traveling as well and getting some training in.
Is there any particular affiliation with any clubs in America, or do you have any contact over there? Is there some camp that you're looking at, or just whatever one fits?
Well, obviously we've got our affiliation with Next Gen, so that's in Texas. So I'd maybe go there, but I also like the idea of going to Winklejohn. I'd like to go there, and maybe Alliance.
You see,
a lot of options in America,
Tom Duquesnoy goes over. He spoke that as well about going off to Jackson Winklejohn as well, and then he does some training back with the Man of Shadow in France as well. Rhys, I'm going to wind it back because this is our end of year show, so I think I always say you have to look backwards to look forward. When you look at it, it was the 19th of September that you stepped in to fight John Redmond, making your professional debut at welterweight. When you fought Alex Mizuku, then you had probably, no disrespect to the other fighters, but you were put in very tough positions against Sean Luther when you fought over in the UK. But just talk us through the year, because I know you're hashtag 1-0, hashtag 2-0, and you're now hashtag 6-0 with the title defence coming up. But just talk us through the year of Rhys McKee? Because I do have to say, before we let you talk about that, is we're doing it's the year of the very prestigious, obviously, Fight Talk award, and we've done Fighter of the Year stuff, and we've called what we've called Regional Fighter of the Year, and you're top of that chart. Just for what you've done, you've gone 5-0 in 15 months. You're on a 7-fight win streak. Like, when you look back, the last amateur fight, was that in Battle Zone?
That was Battle Zone, yeah.
So that was the tournament, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, 2 fights in one night.
Yeah, so it was the Owen Drum Cool. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, Owen Drum Cool was the final. And you look at that to then what's happened. Like, just in your words, just talk us through the last 15 months.
I can't even, if I was to write out and say how I'd want it to go, I would have wrote something probably opposite, but it's went absolutely perfect. A lot of short notice fights, fighting away. I've really done a lot of what I wanted to do in a year, but what a lot of people maybe do in 3 years, I've done it in one. I fought veterans, I've fought guys that were meant to smoke me and I beat them, I've got title shots. It's been phenomenal, I really don't even know what to say about it. I'm just really so excited for 2017. If this is what 15 months has done now, where do you see the next 15? It's going to be phenomenal. One
thing that Robin did say when we were talking to Robin about you, he said he obviously heard your name, but he has to look into it more. He said because he works with sort of affiliated with the UFC, he looks at that, so he hasn't been looking outside the UFC. But he did say the one thing, if he was giving you advice, was to say there's 15 other guys of you. One's in Central America, one's in South America, one's in Thailand. You know what I mean? And he's saying there's guys like you, so you have to realise you're not in a foot race against the guys in your regional scene. You're in a foot race against the other superstars in other regions. And once you can address and know that yes, the things you've accomplished, 5-0 champion, they're incredible. You have to realise as well that there's other guys doing the same thing, and your work ethic to get past that. I know by speaking to you and by the way you fight and everything that there's not a question there in the work ethic. But that is, I thought that was really smart insight to realise that, there are other Rhys McKees out there that are doing this in their area, in their part of the world,
Yeah, there certainly is. There's, there's many similar fighters. In my opinion, there's no other Rhys McKee, and no one will do it quite the way I do it, and just my opinion. But at the early stage of our pro careers, there will be a lot of 5-0s, and a couple of 5 finishes, But as we get to 6, 7, 8, that's when they'll start to narrow down, and you'll start to see like me coming through, and eventually I'll be the number 1 prospect, and eventually it'll wind down, and it'll just be me and maybe 1 or 2,
I've a couple of small quotes here. This is from an SBG fighter, Peter Quealy. He said, "There's a kid who's doing it right. Not easy fights, no record padding, no silver spoon. Fans don't really see it. Not all roads are equal." And that's a picture of you with the belt getting wrapped around you. We had Chris Fields on here last week, and we're speaking away to Chris, and we were saying, so we spoke about the fight, pulling out all that, and we said, okay, so you're a spectator. Who stood out for you? And he said, I've been watching Rhys McKee for a long time. He said, this kid's a superstar, and basically what we echo, the world is your oyster. So with these things being thrown at you, do you find that distracts you, or are you catching the bouquets, or are they making you hungry?
Making me hungrier, like Ian and all these, like Peter Quealy and Chris Fields, they're great athletes, people I grew up watching in the local circuit, and they're throwing compliments at me like that. It's it's kind of inspiring too, and I just like to thank them for their comments. It really does keep me going, and it's nice. I'm from a different club, a different camp. A lot of people would think we're rivals and stuff, but like for them to come out and publicly say stuff like that, it's a real honour for me to hear that.
And that's one thing I would say. It's crazy. Like, we have a good few people here who went to MMA and stuff, and in our offices and stuff. And when I'd say certain shows are on, they'd always say, "Is that young Northern Irish guy fighting? Rhys, is he fighting?" Yeah. And they all, it's crazy that here it happened. I'm not comparing you to Conor McGregor. Let's not go that way. But it started to happen like that, where you count in the scene, and all of a sudden your name gets recognised. And I believe when you went out after, you got absolutely swamped by fans. Is that right in saying?
Absolutely so. I've never experienced that. Flip it, I didn't know what to do. I just walked past the curtain, and swarms. I'd say each aisle in the free arena, maybe 50 people coming down each aisle. And I was like, flip, I didn't know where they were going, if they're getting a drink or something. They all started coming to me. People, like, I think there's one stage there was kids squaring off with me. There was, get a photo of my son and all. And I was like, truly blown away. Like, I'm just this 21-year-old kid from Ballymena just grinding away, and there's full-grown men coming up asking for photos and stuff. It's phenomenal. Like, it's really is scary.
But what you're doing, Rhys, you have to, like, you're an inspiration to people as well. Do you know what I mean? Your work ethic, what you do, your attitude, just your personality, everything. You're an absolute inspiration to people. And like me as a father, I'd like to install that type of mentality into my son. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that grown men would relate to, and they respect things like that, and that's why you are what you are. You're the most level-headed kid I've ever met, like, who's an absolute killer. And it goes to this stage where, people will be coming up and talking to you. You will be recognising down in Belfast. Can you imagine what it's like when you defend that belt in Belfast?
Oh, flips! It's going to be unbelievable. The reception I got in Dublin, as I was walking out, was like bizarre. I looked at Rodney and kind of goes, "Is this for me?" And he just like laugh it up. Belfast, the roof's probably going to blow off the place.
Yeah, when you had your pro debut against John Redmond in the Tree Arena, it was a huge stage, obviously. But did you think my next three of my next 5 fights will be in huge arenas? Or are we expecting, okay, this is going to be a one fight deal, we do a big one, and then I'll be back to fighting in the smaller venues until I get to like 7 or 8 now?
To be honest, I did think I'd go back to the local circuit and all. And then obviously when I heard BAMMA were coming back and they wanted me again, I was like, but maybe I'm done with the wee shows, and now I'm definitely not a small show fighter. I can't see me stepping back in a hotel or GAA hall, to fight again. Like, no disrespect to them shows, they made me who I am, but I just think, for now I'm destined for the big shows and the big time. To be honest, I think I've deserved it. I've grinded through them wee shows, and I think now it's time for the big time.
Well, 100%. If 2016 is anything to go by, fucking strap yourself in, people, for 2017. You can see the man who wrapped the belt around you. I'm not don't want to push it. We won't. But Mark Diakhese obviously is UFC now, 2-0 in the UFC. So you see the path that belt and promotion leads to. I certainly think Belfast will be absolutely rocking with you and Norman Park on the card, and I'd imagine Alan Philpott, all things going well, will be on the card too. It's going to be something else, and it's going to awaken Bellator, if it is Bellator. Ooh, heard a rumour. And BAMMA, it's going to be, they're going to open up a new market up there, and BAMMA and Bellator will be returning many a time, because MMA is absolutely adored and always has a huge crowd and following at all the shows. I said this to you in the last interview. I said it to you in our interview as well. It's an absolute honour to watch you fight. I've called you a good few times. I think my days of calling you are gone unless we get Buddy out of a job. But it's an absolute honour, Rhys. And again, thanks for coming on and taking the time to repeat our sort of interview, what we've had. It's an absolute privilege, my man. Enjoy your holidays. A happy new year. And I cannot fucking wait to see you in 2017.
Thank you so much, guys, and on behalf of Next Gen and all us guys, I'd like to say thanks to you for giving us the platform to express our views and opinions and post-fight thoughts, so without yous, we're nothing. So from behalf of Next Gen, we'd like to thank you.
See what I mean about gentlemen? See
yeah,
that? Like, look at that, like.
Yeah.
Anytime, Rhys, just anytime we're here, just even ring the Skype if you see we're live. Just, you're always welcome on this show. Listen, enjoy your dodgy Christmas jumper night. Have a good one, and you're a fucking superstar. And thanks, me man. And congratulations, the prestigious, obviously, Fight Talk Regional Fighter of the Year.
Thank you very much for that too.
That's so much better than that BAMMA belt. You know what I mean?
I'll get a t-shirt now.
Yeah, we'll send you as soon as I get a Skeletor t-shirt. We had a fucking deal. Yeah, we'll hit you one up, man. We'll get all the fucking Next Gen lads that have been on the show a t-shirt. Yeah. Listen, Rhys, have a great holiday, my man. Look, a great Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I'll see you there.
Yeah, cool, man.
All right.
There you are, Rhys McKee, the Lonsdale champion. What a 2016 and what a 2017 lined up.